All right, all right. Oh, good. That's been recording. So we're good. Hey, welcome to Flashradio.fm. We've got in here a guest, a very esteemed special guest, and a friend as well. Super stoked to have DJ Theo in the house. It's me and DJ Pat SL, Robtronic. We're the Soul Sonic DJs. We want to thank everybody for tuning back in. This is our third episode, and we're ready to kill it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say so, Pat?
Yes, definitely ready to kill it, and we're stoked to have Theo in the house.
I'm stoked to be here. Absolutely. It's
Man.
nice to be amongst friends.
Nice.
Yes, we totally agree. And you came live and direct all the way from L.A. to here to what? It was rainy Las Vegas, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I was in Santa Barbara. I flew from Santa Barbara to Las Vegas, and it was colder here than in Santa Barbara, which is very odd to me. But
well, you just bring the coolness with you.
That's
what you do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you do. Well, so let's get this kicked off. You know, it's our first guest. We're gonna we had some in and out earlier, so if we get a little sleepy, we'll try to wake everybody up. We've been a little bit over caloried maybe, but we'll get through it.
Yo, this is Theo, and I'm in the mix here on Flashradio.fm with my boy Robtronic and Slappy P.
AKA DJ Pat SL.
Don't you stop now, don't you panic. Just you do your thing, you magic. Push it, pull it, grab it, get it. Find it, fuck it, hit it, quit it. Don't you stop now, don't you panic. Just you do your thing, you magic. Push it, pull it, grab it, get it. Find it, fuck it, hit it, quit it.
way down to the underground. And dance. The underground, baby. That force
that keeps on 2 feet, face, back, ass, ears, knees, on the ground. Something like a God-made magnet. Scientists say, if you jump, gravity is what pulls you down, keeps you falling, keeps you from flying, unless you got an engine or wings. Now I say, there's other ways to jump and stay real high. No one force or thing is gonna hold me down. 'Cause I know some secret ways to fly. Watch me. Just watch me. Jump. 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 Don't push me. Don't push me or I'll have to show you how I defy gravity with my spirit and 6 senses. No, there ain't no laws of physics when I float and fight and dream to stay above, to stay alive. What? You forgot I knew how to fly? Watch me. Watch me. As I fly. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Fly. Jump. 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 Jump.
This is Rob Tronic, and you are dialed into Flashradio.fm, and I'm here with my man DJ
Theo.
What's up? SoCal in the house.
Flashradio.fm.
So DJ Theo, thank you for coming in. We'd like to. Amazingly, there are some people out there that probably don't know who DJ Theo is, and yet they claim to be in the house or electronic or rave scene. And so we need to just spend a little bit of background for us. You know, you're like family, you're elder, you're all good. Give us a little bit of your history. How long you been around and what's been going on?
So, sure. And if you don't know who I am, that's fine. It's perfectly fine.
It's not fine with us, but it'll be fine with you. Okay.
It's forgiven.
Yeah.
You'll be able to walk into heaven just fine. Don't worry about it. I started DJing when I was 13, and that was in 1986. And so I was in junior high, and I didn't, of course, there wasn't really raves in 1986, and I was only 13, so I probably wasn't going to them. So I started getting into house music in high school, and the first record I remember buying that's truly house, and I was like really into hip house, like the Chicago Doug Lazy, Mr. Lee kind of stuff, was French Kiss by Lil Louis.
Wow.
And
Good track?
Yeah, that's formative for me. I really started getting into techno at the same time, really in like around 90, 91 when I first kind of got into the techno sound. I hadn't gone to my first rave yet. And after I graduated high school in 91, I started embarking more on DJing being something I really was passionate about. And we used to go to Melrose all the time, me and my friends.
Yeah.
That's where you purchase your records.
Street sounds and
DMC,
right.
Stop. And,
yeah.
And, when you go and buy records, you see all the rave flyers, that were posted everywhere. So I remember one day in February of 92, me and my friends went to Melrose and bought a bunch of records and went back to my house, and I was living in West Covina, and my DJ stuff was in the garage, and we're hanging around the garage and playing these records. And we were all like, we should just go to a rave tonight. And we all agreed. Well, all right, let's go. Figure it out. And we were looking at the flyers for the night, and we saw a flyer for this party called Messiah. And it was based on the group Messiah, who had a song called There Is No Law.
Right.
And we really were into that song. We were like, let's go see Messiah tonight. That'd be awesome. And we didn't know who any of the DJs were on because we just were newbies. So we saw Rondy Core and DJ Dan. I didn't know who the hell that was. But,
Wow.
The reason why we made the decision was because it said sound by the Shredder. And that sounded just impressive to us as 18-year-olds. Like, the Shredder.
Yeah.
We got to go to this party. So we ended up that night going down to Melrose again because there was a map point there, picking up our tickets. I remember, and he's still a part of the scene, there's a guy named Big Steve who used to do a lot of security at events. And we were trying to figure out how to get to this party because, we're brand new. We were trying to figure everything out. And back then, if you went to a party, it was part of venture, right? The map point and trying to figure out where the actual party was.
Well, and not to cut you short, but it's such a different thing back then because you had to have a Thomas Brothers guide.
Yes.
Thomas Brothers guide.
We're
right?
dating ourselves here.
We are, but this is the scene back then.
Yeah.
You had to actually look up the street it was on.
Yeah.
You'd see a grid. It'd be A4,
Right.
and you'd go to A4, and you'd have to look through it and find it. There was no GPS. There was nothing like that.
Nope.
Yeah.
And that was part of the fun. And you might pull into a parking lot, and there was a guy hidden behind a bush with a little flashlight, clicking it on and off.
Yeah. That's how you knew.
Exactly.
And basically, the Big Steve was telling us, just go east. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
You mean like away from the ocean?
Yeah. Just go
The
east.
opposite direction.
So we get another flyer, and it has a number on it, and we call that, and it gives us directions to the pantry, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Wow.
outside the pantry was
Yeah.
a limo. And you knocked on the limousine window door, and they would roll down the window, and they give you another set of instructions. And then on the instructions, it said, this is you were invited to a Madonna after video rap party.
Oh, that's how they
cover their bases.
Yeah, I see. Gotcha.
So, long story short, it ends up at the Casa, which I didn't know was a regular rave venue at the time. But when I got pulled into the Casa, I was like, this place looks super familiar. Like I felt like I knew it already. And I'll explain why that all comes out. But so we walked into the party and it's just going off. It's nuts. We're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. My 18-year-old mind just like blew. And
the shredder was there, right?
And
the shredder system?
It was shredding.
Oh, okay, it was shredding. Yeah.
And so I see Ron Decor, and I see DJ Dan, and I see their name written in laser lights up against the wall. And I'm like, that was my equivalent to seeing your name in lights.
Right.
You know, the whole idea of going on to Broadway and seeing my name in lights, right? Sure. So that was my goal. I was like, I want to see my name in laser on the wall. That was my goal. I said, that's all I want. And and then I remember there was a guy on stage who was throwing out candy to the crowd. And I ended up, this was the Candy Man. He was the guy who actually gave me my first gig. I didn't know him at the time. You know, I got a lollipop from him. And so at the end of that, we were like, it's like 6 a.m. We head home. And I think all of us were bitten by the bug. We're like, well, I guess we know what we're doing next weekend.
Yeah, right.
And that night, that moment, definitely changed my life forever. The rave scene has given me nothing but amazing memories. Some of my best friends. I met my wife at a rave in '97. So for me, I can never give back to the rave scene what is given to me. You know, it's just something that I can only just try to give back what I can, but I can never give back what it's given to me.
That's a nice sentiment.
So for me, and luckily, I decided I'm going to just try to be a rave DJ and see if this works out. And so what I did was I would make mixtapes in my garage, you know, and this is all pre-internet. There's no websites. There's no email addresses. Every flyer had a voicemail on the back, right? All these voicemails were where you called to get information for the party. So I had this bright idea of I was at work and I would call up each voicemail and I would leave an introduction of myself and leave a little bit of my mixtape on the voicemail.
Right.
And thinking, I don't know how to get in touch with any of these people. Then at least try this, right?
Sure.
And lo and behold, I got a call from the Candyman, and he was throwing a party in March of '92 called Under the Kandyground, and it had Tony Largo, DJ Dan, Ronnie Core, Barry Weaver, and he's like, "Do you want to open?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I want to open."
Right.
And
that's great.
That was my first gig, and then from that started a friendship with Candyman. With his real name's Coco, and he and I kind of started DJing together. And that's how, you know, he kind of really introduced me to a lot of the players and like introduced me to Tef, and, you know, was able, like I went to Circa 92 and gave him a mixtape, and he booked me and not too long afterwards. And so, yeah, that's kind of when started, you know, I would just immerse myself. Like Richard Dorado, who was an artist who was also a big part of Ohm Laboratories and Tef's parties back in the day. He would have these weekly things at his house. He lived in a loft near Skid Row. And we would go to his house to like plan these, you know, whatever they were planning on. And I would just go just to be around people. And that's how I met Wade Hampton. Yeah. And he was really into different styles of music, and he got me into like listening. Like we both had a really, we loved Black Dog Productions and Plaid and, you know, different like IDM stuff. And we would always just compare notes. Like we would talk about how mixing this music was as like unlocking something. Like it wasn't like straightforward like techno and house. It was like you'd have to actually finesse it a bit different.
Right.
And
discern it.
Yeah. It wasn't like laid out for you. So yeah, I just immersed myself and really fell in love with it. And then I was a big fan of mixtape culture. So what I loved was it was a cheap way to to really push yourself out there. And before the internet and before anything like that, definitely before streaming or anything, your mixtape was your calling card. Mm-hmm. So what I did was just make mixtapes constantly,
right?
And use them as business cards. And we'd sell them in the shops in Melrose and stuff like that. Sure. But yeah, I mean, I would just throw out mixtapes left and right, and just because that's how you would spread your name.
It was like basically the rave DJ business card.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And also a lot of DJs, and I'm sure this was helpful to you too. A lot of people made a living off of it.
No, yeah, I mean,
it was a good way to make money.
Especially when Ken and Pure Acid and he was doing his mixtapes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because at the very end of the mixtape culture thing, he was buying our masters and he was producing it and making the money. And so for us, it was like, you record a 90-minute set, give it to Ken, he'll give you $300, and I have a nice weekend.
Right.
So it was like,
was that Ken Lawrence?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, gotcha. Yeah.
And he was responsible for the tapes, and he would do such a great job with it. So it was like,
it really would.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I first started, I did a mix in October of '93 called Cybersex, and it was. Everyone was doing house and techno, and this one mix was kind of focused more on kind of IDM-ish. There was Ken Ishii on it. There was, Polygon Window. There was a lot of Orbital on it.
Wow.
CJ Boland.
Yeah.
And I was 19, maybe. So that mix kind of helped. So spread my name a bit more because it was different than what a lot of other DJs. And what I liked about doing mixtapes was that you weren't tied to a dance floor.
Right.
You didn't have to be full on rave mode in a mixtape.
Right.
You could be creative. And I was looking at DJs like Eli Starr, who was doing a lot of ambient mixtapes and kind of more down tempo and chill stuff. Like that's where I kind of. So I did this mixtape in early February, of '94, called Stunson on Venus, and that had Jam and Spoon was on that. I bought a lot of just weird Bill Laswell stuff, just some Orb, and it really just was all this stuff that I loved, but I could never play at a club, right? So, and that I listened to it recently, and I was like, I was 19 or 20, and I could never do that again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not now. You would say this was as of its time, how you were inspired, the whole deal. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I could absolutely never. A lot of the things I've done, I can look back at it now, I don't think I could ever do that again. Because they're all just moments of time, right? It's like where you are at the moment in your life, where you are musically, what's going on.
So are you talking more about from a technical DJ standpoint, or are you talking about from the standpoint of
I'm talking more curator,
curating the music emotionally, where you are, what you want to see, the journey you want.
Could I mix those records? Yes.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be the same impactful way that it was when I was a kid and didn't know any better? No.
Right. Yeah.
So as an introduction, I've been DJing a long time. Got into the rave scene in the early '90s, and I'm still doing it. So yes,
you're like, let me just put the last 20 years and there's a couple sentences, and then it happened,
just 33.
Oh yeah. That's awesome. Well, let me say this. We're going to come right back here with Theo here. We're going to go into the mix for a few minutes and come back, and we're going to carry this story forward because although he's trying to cram that into just a few sentences his last 20 years, we got to dig a little deeper with this guy.
And there's just so much to talk about.
Right.
So much to unpack. One of the things I'm really looking forward to because there is just so much fun in all of the rave scene, especially in the 90s, but even after that.
Yeah.
But we were talking about this a little bit beforehand. DJ fails. I can't wait to hear some of these because every DJ has their stories. But, in the days of turntables, there were just so many more.
Yes.
When you'd walk into a club and you never knew what kind of mixer you were going to play on. Was the turntable going to have a decent pitch? There were so many variables. Now it's like,
actually,
pioneer this, pioneer that.
This is our blatant attempt to go viral, by the way. We're going to capture these and just spread them out. So we want the worst. We want the worst.
I got plenty. But I thought about this recently. It's like, and I didn't think about it then, but I think about it now. It's like the whole party was resting on a needle tip.
Yeah.
Right. That's a great point.
The whole fucking party. You got 5,000 people in a room. It's all resting on a needle tip.
Yes,
That's crazy.
that is right. And think of okay. So we'll go on that.
Yes.
We'll leave on that one. We're gonna get back into the mix.
Fair
It'll be hot. Probably Mr. Theo in the mix. We'll see. We'll put that in there.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining. We'll be right back in a second. Enjoy, and we'll be right back with DJ Theo.
You're in the mix on Flashradio.fm.
I am ready. I am ready. I am ready.
case you didn't know this, you're listening to Flashradio.fm, and I'm DJ Theo.
Only disco in here, baby.
All right. We're back. Hey, welcome back. Flashradio.fm. We're here with the Soul Sonic DJs. Of course, our man of the hour, DJ Theo. So, fascinating history. I know we kind of got up to a particular point in your career there, Jacob, but DJ Theo.
Whatever.
We're alter egos, all right. We're not trying to. Okay. Just keep it on the under. Okay. So, right, exactly. So, I'd like to talk because you've become a really close friend of mine over the years. We actually, I knew about you just by virtue of being like a lover of the rave scene, meaning the history and watching it from Northern California. And I see your name on the flyers, and then lo and behold, real quick, I started doing some clubs and compression and the techno thing, and we met literally at the Standard Rooftop. I think, in a kind of more like, hey, we're here to meet, let's talk.
Right.
And I did the cardinal sin. This is a confession time where I have to say it publicly, so it's out forever. All right. Is I was like, yeah, of course I would love DJ Theo to play at compression, but you have to use your real name.
So, okay.
Please go ahead.
So,
This is I feel bad about this, so this is confession time. I'm gonna get it out. Let's get it out.
You don't have to
air
feel
it out.
bad about
Air
this.
it out. Okay.
So there was a time, and and I think Pat can kind of relate to this because he's good friends with Jason Blakemore, who had a DJ name of DJ Trance.
DJ Trance, right? Yeah.
And there was a point in the scene where there was the rave stuff was considered young and adolescent.
Okay, right.
And there was a more mature house thing that was happening.
Or minimal techno,
Right.
Very snobby in some cases, yes.
No, but it was.
Yeah.
And I think, DJ Trance changing his name to Jason Blakemore was to get himself more accessibility to those type of higher
events and dance, culture stuff.
Maybe upper scale house events or whatever, however you want to call it.
Sure. Yeah.
But there was this kind of thing about putting the kiddie rave thing aside as you matured and wanted to go into more upscale or more clubby type events at the time.
Well, and also let's also talk about the fact that this was when the super clubs came from Europe and started to penetrate North America.
Right.
And so there was a big change probably around 98, 99, where all of a sudden we were so used to, especially at raves, always seeing maybe the same 20 to 30 DJs playing all the time. And all of a sudden there were guys like Sasha and Digweed and Carl Cox and even New York guys and just a lot of different people coming in and starting to play on a circuit.
Right.
And those guys, for the most part, pretty much all went with their names.
Right.
And so what happened was there was this sort of evolution from the warehouse party scene into the club scene.
Yeah.
Right? And the club scene paid a lot more.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, the things were very different back then. I mean, I had gone from working with, with like the warehouse party scene and doing parties for like 400 or 500 people. And then I started working with Neil. We talked about this once in a past episode, and we were doing the Groove Garden down at the Mayan, and we were hitting 1,500 people with like Grant Plant and, very progressive sounding DJs. And then that kind of change came over. And then, Giant opened and we started doing these bigger names at this big, huge hall. And at that time in particular, Insomniac, which of course is huge now, they couldn't book any of the DJs. Any of the DJs.
Well, because they were tapped into that sort of
because they were part
flow.
Of, they were part of rave culture.
Right.
And they embraced it, and good for them.
Yeah.
But at the time, there was this big sort of split within the industry, I think.
Yeah.
And there was very much an idea that if you were playing one scene, you really didn't play the other.
Yes.
And that was a stupid and silly contention, but that was very prevalent at the time.
Yes.
Well, and so of course, Theo, you missed the opportunity to fire back at me at that time to go, oh, you want me to use my real name? Okay, Robtronic.
No, 'cause
You asshole. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
No, but because to be perfectly honest, Rob,
Yeah.
compression to me at that time was a milestone. It was because you were doing one of the best clubs in LA in my opinion, at the time.
Thanks, man.
It was like, it wasn't because when you're a DJ and you DJ out regularly, you don't get a lot of opportunities to go to clubs just to go to clubs.
Yeah, good point.
And compression was a club that I would go to just because I enjoyed going to it.
Wow, thanks. That's high praise.
And I know part of the a lot of parts of the scene. That's why I've never played Moon Tribe, is because even though I know all the guys and we have a mutual respect, I don't go to their and part of their thing is unless you go to Moon Tribes, you can't. You're not really there to perform,
right?
And I get that. I respect that, and I've never asked them to be a part of, to get me on. Because I know in order to do that, you have to participate.
Yeah.
And so that's when I went to compression. It was not just because I enjoyed it, but I also wanted it to be to show that this is something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be a part of.
And also, I mean, just for whatever reason, and probably just because who we are as people, we just connected. I liked you, and I wanted to be like, let's work together. Yeah. And that manifested itself later when we did Stylus, which was really cool. And our mutual friend, Luis Rosario, was with us when we first started that. And we got to carry that into Stylus pool parties.
Submerged.
At the standard rooftop. And even we had worked on a couple tracks we got released, which was kind of cool.
Oh, by the way, this is all in LA.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Right. This is all LA. And then I had to escape LA like Kurt Russell and come out to Vegas. So honestly, it's just a pleasure to have you come out now. I can reconnect with you and, and see you again. I mean, obviously I've seen you before. This time, actually, the last time I DJ'd out in front of real people was with you in Sacramento.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, just last year. So that was also an interesting experience. We'll talk about later one time.
I want to say I remember the exact moment where you called me about compression.
Yes.
I was
wow.
I was in Laughlin.
Okay.
With my family.
Yeah.
And you called me up and you said, "Hey, let's get you in compression." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." And then you're like, "But you have to use your real name." I said, "That's cool, but can you do Jacob Theo?"
Oh yeah, I try to combine a little bit, because I didn't want to leave all that behind.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I remember most about playing a compression, because I do have the set and it's recorded, and if anyone wants to hear it, it's on my SoundCloud.
Oh yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
No, you have to remember this because it was the week that Michael Jackson died.
Oh
wow.
Okay. You played that party when the Michael Jackson died?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's the party where at midnight I literally played 3 Michael Jackson songs in a row. I didn't give a I was like, I got to play Michael.
So what ended up happening is at the end of my set, I started playing Michael Jackson's songs, and then you carried into it.
Oh,
So
nice.
If
Okay.
you listen to the set on SoundCloud at the end, it has the Michael Jackson tribute.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm gonna totally go back and I remember that night explicitly. Yeah, that was an emotional night.
It was.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So and then Pat, you go way back with our guest here.
Yeah, and I do want to get into that, but I just have to ask you. We've known each other, 20 plus years?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yes.
25? I don't know. But where does Theo come
yes.
from?
Oh, great question.
It was a nickname I got in high school.
Okay.
And it was because I have chubby cheeks, so they used to call me Theodore from the Chipmunks. And the reason it's stylized the way it is, as far as the way it's written, is because of my last name starts with an O. So I was like Theo. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So you're not the only one that was tortured in high school. I was Poindexter and I was a fat kid and it was terrible.
No, it was just stupid. Like I have even before the DJing, I have like written entries in my yearbook in my senior year. I was like, "Hey Theo," I'm like,
"Oh, that's cool."
Yeah. It was totally just a stupid nickname from high school.
I love it. I think that's a great story, actually.
And that's one of the reasons why I didn't change, because there was the push at that time to legitimize, yourself and become a more mature DJ and use your real name. Because I was going to use my first and middle name like a lot of DJs were doing at the time. So I was going to be Jacob Andrew.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, But then, what I really saw was Doc.
Yeah.
Because Doc has never changed his name. He's just fucking Doc Martin.
Martin, yeah.
Right. And he's still highly respected. he never got the whole, and he was part of the kiddie rave shit in the beginning too.
Absolutely.
Right. He was wearing overalls and had his dyed dreadlocks.
Yeah, right.
So, and I looked at Doc and I'm like, he can do that. Why can't I keep my name and still just do what I want to do?
I also thought the same thing about people like Theo. I'm sorry. See, that was Freudian. Right?
That's a very good.
I
Yeah.
thought the same thing about Theo, but I also thought the same thing about DJ Sneak.
Yeah.
I also thought the same thing about Moody Man.
Yeah.
There were
Bones.
Right.
Bones. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, there's always been people that transcended that, but there was that moment in time where it was like, and again, it's kind of a silly, bougie, wannabe, we're better than them sort of attitude. I mean, look, in the 90s, a big thing that happened, I don't know if you were a part of this too, but a big thing that happened in the 90s was there were the raves and there were the parties.
Right.
There was the party scene, which was basically deep house. And then there was the rave scene, which was
trans,
multiple spaces with multiple music,
happy hardcore,
and the happy hardcore, and the gabber, and it could be breaks or whatever, and it was the candy jewelry and all that kind of stuff. And again, neither was necessarily bad, but you had this very nose in the air, snobbish attitude
there were lines.
Those are for the kids.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It was definitely, and I had talks with people who were representing me at the time about, you have to do this, or the whole thing of you should stop doing those kind of parties so you could do these kind of parties.
That's the agent talking, right? They get in your skin to get you to go. Yeah.
And it's smart, but at the same time, I was thinking, I just want to DJ.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. You
Yeah.
know? If I can do more of the, kind of bougie stuff, great. But if all I have is underground warehouse stuff for the rest of my life, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just be pigeonholed, because I think so many people want to put you in a box.
Yeah.
And say this is what kind of DJ you are,
And this is actually a perfect segue because a lot of people don't know this about you. And when we talk about rave scene and party scene, people think, oh, it's like house or techno. But even just my personal experience with you play everything. When you say you just want to DJ, and I'm not trying to say you're open top 40 format or whatever, but I mean, and I remember in particular one humbling time with you when I was in the Orange County. You may not remember this. We were DJing together in some club. We were playing kind of a mixture of things. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to play some Salt and Pepper, Push It, right? It's like, da, da, da. Jake's like, oh, I got you, I'll mix it. And so you mixed into something, and then it was my turn to mix out of that, and I was train wrecking. I was like, I could not manage the transition. I was like, and you're like, and Jake was like, no, I got this. Come on, Rob, here. I'll just mix right out of this, and it'll be fine, right? And I was like, skills, my friend, skills. And so, but I love that about you because you've got a name in the drum and bass scene.
Right.
You're playing, you've got Rave Rewind now you're doing. Yeah. And you obviously do tech house and you do techno and all that. So, I mean, that comes from your love of DJing.
I just love music.
Yeah.
And I think, especially as you get older as a DJ, and you really should be representing your history as a DJ. So for me, it's more of, whenever I get an opportunity to DJ, it isn't just like, let's play what I like now. Mm-hmm. It's more about, let me give you a little bit of what I've been through over the past 30 some odd years or whatever. So that's important to me is now, because that's something, because there's so, like, now everyone's a DJ, right? When we first started DJing, it's like there was a barrier of entry. Mm-hmm. 1200s were expensive. Vinyl was expensive. It took dedication to be a DJ. That is not needed now. Dedication is not needed to be a DJ now. And I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying the barrier of entry is low.
Well, let's be honest about something. Mm-hmm. This is something that is absolutely true. When we were coming up, if you wanted to be a DJ, the amount of money you had to put in to do it was more than a car.
It was seriously a barrier.
Like, you could go and buy a used car for like $800 or $1,000. Turntables, $500 to $500 piece.
If you want 1200s,
yeah. And if you want, and you get some beat used mixer for a few hundred. You wanted a decent mixer, you had to come up even more. I mean, in a lot of ways, 2 turntables, a mixer, and a crate of records is like 2 cars.
Oh man, and even back then, you were still buying 12-inch records. The one song you want to play, and it was still $10.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you got to crate of 10 songs.
Hold on, $6.99 for every domestic.
Oh,
And $9.99
for imports. Okay, fair enough.
Who was buying domestics? Really?
Right.
Oh, here comes a snob.
Who's getting bougie? But again,
Real names only. Real names only.
then $9.99, $10.99, or $11.99 for imports,
Right.
or a white label import might be like $12.
Yeah.
That was one song.
One song.
So
Yeah.
now you're going to play what? A 90-minute set, a 2-hour set at least?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the days now where these sets are 45 minutes or an hour today.
Yeah. And they're 12, 15 songs in and out. Boom, boom.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's all Beatport top 10 and nobody's doing
But-
anything interesting. But let's get back to what you were doing.
Shaking canes at skies right now is what we're doing. Go ahead.
Used to be better.
Get off my lawn! Get out of it!
The thing because the barrier of entry is so low now, and anyone can be a DJ, and everyone is a fucking DJ.
Right.
The only thing that really sets me apart from newer people is the experience.
In the history.
Right.
Yes.
So I think that's important that you bring that with you. You know, if I'm the 51-year-old DJ playing for 21-year-olds, right? Why? Why am I there? Right. Why are they there? So it's like, okay, they're there because maybe I'm old school, and maybe their mom used to like me when they were there.
Oh, dude, just talk about the shirt you have. I DJ'd your mom's first rave. Is that what that was? Which is factually probably true.
So for some people, yes. So I used to have a shirt when in the late 90s, early 2000s, that said I DJ'd your first rave.
First rave. Oh yeah.
And I used to wear that once in a while just to take a piss off on people. But so 2 years ago, I played ADC for the 30th anniversary of Insomniac thing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to update my shirt. So it's going to be, I DJ'd your mom's first rave.
I love it. That is great.
You know, because I have to laugh at this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 51 years old now, and I'm still part of a youth culture.
It's wild.
It is. It's weird. Yeah. And then I was talking to Rob about this yesterday about, you know, I've had recent conversations with people like, I'm 51 years old, and I'm still doing the same shit I was doing when I was 18. Now, does that look good, or does that look like pathetic? I don't know. I don't know.
I think, you know, there's part of the way that people look at it, like we've all got Peter Pan complex.
Right.
I mean, here I am wearing Adidas, a T-shirt, you know, shorts, and I wear shell toes almost every day.
Right.
I'm wearing a baseball hat, and I'm 50-3.
Right.
Okay, so what the fuck am I doing? At this point, my dad, like, suit and tie, the whole 9 yards. But you know what? I don't necessarily think that those benchmarks that our parents looked at that made them be adults and responsible adults, I think that we are in a, you know, I'm not trying to make any other generation feel good or feel bad, but I think Gen X really hit it out of the park. I think we got the greatest time in history to grow up as kids.
I agree.
I think we got the best
We were just talking about
time
this.
to be teenagers and in our 20s.
Yeah.
And now as adults, look, I take care of my mom. Yeah. Okay? So if you don't think I'm an adult, I take care of my mom. My mom's in her 80s. All right? I take care of her. Do you take care of your parents? I do that. So, you know,
So you're afforded the right to be the way you want to be with this and, you know, go. Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm also saying about that is it is part of youth culture, but, you know, when we started going to clubs, when there was somebody who was 27 in the club, everybody was like, look, there's an older guy in the club. Now, you know, but it really was.
Right,
I remember going to clubs in my 20s, and it was like, dude, I think that guy's 30. Look at that chick. She's so old. Yeah. And now it doesn't matter the club unless it's like markedly a really young audience. Right. Musically, I don't want to be anywhere near that anyway, but I go to clubs and I see people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, even people in their 60s. Same thing at raves, same thing at festivals. I don't think that paradigm is the same anymore. Yeah. So it's fun in jest to make fun of it because it is. It's ridiculous, you know. But at the same time, I think that we're very lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Where we are right now.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's the whole rave to the grave thing. Like,
well, I feel like it's the only place I can be now in a club at, sorry, I'll go ageist here anyway, but at the age that I'm at and be known as Robtronic, and legitimately so, would be behind the decks now. I can't be in the club and like, this is Rob Tronic, like I'm just slightly facetious with this, but I think there's something to be said about the mindset of staying young when it comes to music, because there's always new stuff. You got to evaluate it against the history, and you've got to be on top of that. And what better place to be as a curator of sort of culture, sounds, and music than being a DJ? And it's one of those things. It's like wine. The older you get, if you stay engaged, the better you are, because your points of reference are. I'm sorry for all the young ones out there listening to this, but your journey's just starting. Cool, stick with it. But for us, we actually literally grew up in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and so we remember the songs, and they're part of who we are. So when we look at a dance floor, we have sometimes the ability to discern maybe this sound, whether it's a freestyle, maybe it's Planet Rock, maybe it's Cybertron, maybe it's Playing with Knives and Bizarre Incorporated, go up the chain, right? The those things. And we look at them, we go, that might work here. Yeah. And half this audience isn't even going to know what it is. Right. So that thing works. And so we, of course, curate that sound, which is old, but yet new to new people. And that's the value. And I honestly think that keeps us young.
I remember,
at least the mindset, not visually. At least I'm speaking for myself.
I remember, back in the '90s, and NBC Thursdays was really popular.
Yeah,
it had Friends and it had Seinfeld or whatever the fuck it was like.
Right.
And I remember during summer they would play reruns, and the whole thing was, if you never saw it, it's new to you, right? So,
and that's music,
right? And
that's
so
awesome.
That's the way I approach it now. It's like, I may know this song for years, but if you've never heard this before, this is new to you.
Yeah.
So that's, and I think, and I'm hoping that when I'm getting booked now, that part of it, the booking isn't just because, it's Theo or whatever, that it's like, he's going to lend some authenticity to this.
Yep.
Some history, some, and I think that's, as an older DJ, is what you bring to the table, because those are things that younger DJs are just starting to get.
Mm-hmm.
If you're still, old enough to know better and young enough to be stupid to do it, that's the age I'm at.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's perfect. And actually, Pat and I, we talk about this all the time, right? Like the whole idea about the history of music and how we can kind of pull that forward. And it's weird to me. That mic's kind of going crazy on me. Sorry about that. It's weird to me, and it shouldn't be, but it is. Sometimes I will talk to people, and usually it's during the course of my day job, and I'll say, hey, I'm doing the music, and they're like, oh, really? And I'd say, yeah. And we start talking about stuff, and I'm like, hey, have you ever heard of crap? Yeah, there we go.
Didn't catch you saying craft work.
Okay, yeah, it sounded like crap, right? It's crap work. No, so crap. I think I fixed it. We might edit this. Boop. 2 hours later. Okay. So,
SpongeBob reference.
Yeah, so totally, yeah. So, but it's weird to me. I'll talk about Kraftwerk, and they're like, who? And I'll be like, okay, let me go up a little further. Have you ever heard of Planet Rock? Nope. Okay. And I'll go up the chain, and it doesn't register until maybe I get to the 2000s.
All right. You want to laugh really hard.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So about 3 weeks ago, I'm doing a late night set.
Okay.
And it's midnight to 3, and I could play R&B, I could play house, I could play techno, I could play old school hip hop. Just depends on what the room's going to look like that night. I'm playing some kind of like very well-known late 80s, early 90s hip hop. And one of the bartenders tells me, hey, play some LL Cool J. And of course, to me, that's like, there's only one album. So I go straight to radio.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And I drop that on.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I go, well, I'm sorry.
Can't live without my radio.
Yeah, I go straight to the song radio.
Yeah,
is what I should say.
Yeah.
So anyway, I put that on, and he's talking to one of the bus boys, and the bus boy, and the guy who's the bartender is probably mid-30s, and the bus boy is probably, and he grew up in Philly, so he's deep into East Coast and New York hip hop.
DJ Jazzy Jeff probably.
Yeah, and but he's really like into like very much like he loves like even the 80s stuff. He loves
that's the Sonic
like Schooly D and
and
stuff like that.
Okay.
He really gets into it.
That's cool.
And he's talking to this kid, and this kid's like, LL Cool J, you mean the guy from the Shark movie? And he's like,
Wow.
what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, he's a rapper. He's like, he comes over and he tells me this, and we both just burst out laughing. So I proceed to play like 5 or 8 of his like really well known songs.
Yeah.
Going back to Cali and all. Mama Said Knock You Out. He only recognized Mama Said Knock You Out. He didn't know any of the.
It's a classic.
That is crazy.
But he really liked all the other stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He was like, especially all the really, really early Def Jam stuff. And he was just like, he couldn't believe that it was the same guy. He was blown away.
But imagine how lucky that is, though, that they hear that for the first time. Because I don't even know sometimes if something's good. I just know it. And so, like, when somebody validates that they've never heard it now, and it's like 35 years old, and they're like, oh, this is good, then it really is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's good.
I completely agree.
New to you.
It's new to you. Right. Okay, so check it out.
Quick aside.
Oh, yeah.
On LL Cool J. Did either one of you see him at Coachella perform with the LA Philharmonic?
No.
I did not know.
Okay. I highly suggest that you watch that. Because as an introduction to Gen Z, from LL Cool J perspective, it was impressive.
Was it phenomenal?
It
was good?
It was excellent.
Is it like at the same level like when Goldie did like Timeless with the orchestra? Is it like that type of thing?
What's cool is that so they brought out different artists to do with the Philharmonic.
Oh.
So they brought out Zed and they did one of his songs, and they brought out some Spanish artists and did some of their songs. But the clips, at least for I think it was either Saturday night or the first weekend, was out bringing out LL Cool J, and they did "I Need Love."
Wow.
They did "Mama Said Knock You Out."
Right.
It was just like wow.
That's awesome.
And to just have all the Philharmonic behind that, it was incredible.
That's super cool. All right, so let's take a break here. We're gonna get back into the mix. Of course, we're with our esteemed guest here, DJ Theo. This is Flashradio.fm, and I am Rob Tronic.
I am Pedicel.
And that is
I'm Theo.
We'll be back right in the mix. Hang tight and enjoy. See you in a minute.
You are in the mix on Flashradio.fm.
where we started. Come back to where we from. Come back to where we started. The night won't last for long. Come back to where we started. Come back to where we from. Come back to where we started. The night won't last for long. Come back to where we started. Come back to where we from. Come back to where we started. The night won't last for long. Come back to where we started. Come back to where we from. Come back to where we started. The night won't last for long.
Hey, what's up? It's Theo, and you're listening to Flashradio.fm. What's up? It's Theo, and you're listening to Flashradio.fm.
Flashradio.fm.